Alright, so continuing where we left off with the last video, in this one we'll be going over the Eastern Conference All-Star Reserves. They're going to announce them and I'll chime in.
Chuckster, you get us started on the Eastern Conference Reserves.
Come on, man. Start it out. Start it out hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Oscar goes to, from the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, a six-time All-Star in his 11th season now, 22 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. The Heat, 32-20, have the second-best record in the East.
Jimmy Butler, a lot like Draymond Green in the sense that the stats don't do him justice. His play is not quantifiable by numbers. When you look at the NFL with quarterbacks, people complain that QB wins isn't a statistic. In the NBA, wins is definitely a statistic in my opinion. There's certain players that just are winning players. They bring winning intangibles. And that's what Jimmy Butler has brought to that Miami Heat culture. Miami Heat, they already had a culture with Pat Riley and with Eric Spoelstra, but Jimmy Butler is the perfect fit. And when Jimmy Butler is following suit with what they have going on down there, it forces everybody else to follow along. So Jimmy Butler, well-deserved, big-time player.
7 games of at least 30s at 4 triple-doubles. Missed some time earlier this season, but has come back with some fire for the 32-20 Heat. So Jimmy Butler, the first of the Eastern Conference reserves. Jet.
Oh, it's back on me. Ladies and gentlemen, our second reserve for the Eastern Conference, from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Nice.
Darius Garland.
Nice.
Winston, your son made it. My team.
Nice.
Surprise pick. That pick surprised me.
Third season in the league for Darius Garland and his first All-Star selection. He's given the Cavs 20 points a game, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. He's number 7 in the league in that department, shooting 47%, 36% from deep. Had 3 games of at least 30, and he's had a triple-double. And Darius Garland for the 31-20 Cleveland Cavaliers, a first-time.
That's awesome.
And when I say it surprised me, I don't mean that he didn't deserve it. It surprised me because we don't hear a lot of coverage on the Cavaliers since LeBron has left. And very rarely do you hear Darius Garland's name. But Darius Garland's having a tremendous season. He shoots the ball well. He's very creative. His game, his play style, I've tried to compare it to others. I'm trying to think what the comp is, but he plays a real interesting style of basketball. He's real herky-jerky. He has some athleticism. He's a very smart player. Like I said, he can shoot, he can pass, he can do everything on the court. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, as I'm recording this video, they're the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. So they're winning games, and nobody expected them to be winning games. People projected that team to be rebuilding. They didn't think that team was a playoff team, a play-in team, whatever you want to call it. Nobody had these thoughts about the Cleveland Cavaliers being a threat in the East. And a big part of that, I'd say the main part of that, is Darius Garland and those towers. Cleveland, they're just so long, so tall. They're going to get after it on the defensive end. It's very hard to finish shots around the rim versus that team. Their guards, their perimeter players know that they can be pests and they can get up there on the three-point ball and force you to attack the basket, because you're going to have a hard time converting when they got a small forward, power forward, and center who are all at least 6'10", 6'11". It's fucking ridiculous. But not to get too off track, Darius Garland, great season, well-deserved.
Man, I love it when guys earn it and they don't.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how him and the Cleveland Cavaliers look in the playoffs. Now, I'm recording this today. It's February 6th, and the trade just went down for Caris LeVert to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we'll see how Cleveland looks now with him in the backcourt. I know that they're probably not going to repay Sexton in the offseason. So I want to see how this team looks going forward as this season ends and how they look next year. But, you know, Darius Garland and the Cleveland Cavaliers are there. That's a player, that's a team to keep your eyes out on.
Don't just get the fan vote and like a Lifetime Achievement Award. This kid deserved to be in the All-Star game.
First Cavalier since LeBron left. to be an all-star.
Wow.
And now,
DG to PG.
the third reserve from the East, James Harden of the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden in his 10th.
Boo. Hey, nobody had no love for James Harden getting announced right there. Everybody was just like, overweight, a little bit of a down year, causing problems in the locker room. Just a nasty year for James Harden. Don't get me wrong, though. James Harden wake up out of bed and is a triple-double threat. James Harden wake up out of bed, and he can get you 30 any given Sunday. You know, any given Sunday, any given time. You know, any given day, he gets up out of bed and he can just light it up. But I don't know, just a down year. I want to think about if there was somebody new who was more deserving, who maybe could have got the spot. But you know they're going to give James Harden an all-star selection. That was bound to happen.
Straight all-star game. 22 points a night, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. He's number 2 in the league there. He has had trouble shooting the ball. I mean, this is his low field goal percentage since his rookie season and his career low from 3. He's had 9 games of 30-plus. He's had 9 triple-doubles. The 29 and 22 Brooklyn Nets represented by James Harden, who already have Kevin Durant.
It's tough because, you know, James Harden, like I said, he's going to get up out of bed and just get numbers. But is it translating to wins right now for the Nets? No. Is he playing, you know, like with Jimmy Butler, like I said earlier, Jimmy Butler plays in a style that's translating to wins. Jimmy Butler is playing winning basketball. James Harden's not doing that right now. James Harden's not giving his all on defense. James Harden's not giving his all in the locker room or in practice. You know, like he's not putting forth that energy of being that guy to pull these guys together. It's like Kyrie's only available on the road. I get it. Kevin Durant out with an injury. I get it. But you still have a Hall of Fame player in that locker room. You still have an all-NBA guy in that locker room, right? So the ship shouldn't be sinking, right? I mean, when he was in Houston, he was the man and he got it done, right? So what's going on here where the team's just on this big losing streak and you just got nothing to answer? You know, you got nothing to do about it, you know? Coming out flat every single time. And James Harden always got an injury. It's always an injury. It's always something. Just a nasty year, dude. Just a nasty year. He's going to make the All-Star team. That's a given. But just a nasty year.
As an all-star starter. All right, Shaq.
Sound it out, big fella.
Shaq dumber than a rock, bro. I went on Shaq Instagram. It said Dr. Shaq or some shit. I guess Shaq got his PhD or whatever the fuck. Man, Shaq dumb as a rock.
Chuck, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Does that sound good enough?
Shaq dumb as shit. Shaq just big as hell.
And the Hip Hop Source Award goes to Zach LaVine, Chicago Bulls.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well deserved.
Absolutely.
I was second
Should've been a
all-star
starter.
selection.
Say it again, Dre.
Definitely should have been a starter.
Thank you.
That's his
I
second
got called
straight
back when I
appearance
said that last week.
in his 8th season. 25 points a night for the Bulls. That's number 14. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 48%. 12 games of the season, 30. The Bulls at 32 and
Shooting 48%. It's crazy. I remember LaVine when he was coming out of UCLA, and he was a high flyer, but I had concerns about that shot. I had concerns about him as a playmaker, and boy, has he just turned it up. I mean, this is a guy who you can tell has just worked on his game, because there's athletic wing players. There's guys like Gerald Green in the NBA who, like, yeah, they have a bag. They have a bag of tricks that they can do on the court, you know. They got a bag and they got athleticism, but some guys just kind of rely on that and they see how far it could take them in the league. But LaVine's a guy who you can tell has really spent a lot of time in the gym just working on his craft. So he deserves it. They're saying that he should have been a starter in the game. You know, they give DeRozan the nod. They give Trae Young the nod, even though his team has a horrible record. I mean, we can go back and forth about all that. Chicago having two guys in the backcourt in the All-Star game feels like a little bit of a stretch. But I'm not mad at it. I understand he's having a great year.
18 have the best record in the Eastern Conference.
Which is amazing with all the injuries they've had.
Yeah. Okay, let's move this one down to the Chuckster again. Little something going on between you.
No, they ain't going to find his body. Yeah. I'm like, what happened to Kenny? No, Chuck was on TV. He's gone.
Yo, Kenny got to be one of those guys who's just really annoying to work with, dude. I don't blame Chuck for giving Kenny a hard time. Kenny just does so many things when I'm watching these guys on TV that's just cringeworthy.
From the Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton.
Middleton.
Yes, sir. Champ.
This is his third All-Star game and his 10th.
Before they start going on about Chris Middleton, I just want to say I saw a little bit of chatter on Twitter that, this guy should make the All-Star team over Chris Middleton or that guy, whatever the case. Chris Middleton, now that he's a champion, he's earned that cachet where he's going to get that consideration and he's going to get that nod every single time unless he blows it. So unless Chris Middleton had like a bad year or a down year, he's going to get the All-Star nod for the next couple of seasons, you know? As long as the Bucks are the Bucks, you know? As long as they're running the East, he's going to get that nod because he's earned that. He has that cachet. He just won the NBA championship. So as long as he has a Chris Middleton year being, you know, without me even looking at the stats, a Chris Middleton year is like 19, 5, and 3, something like that. 19, 5, and 3 on 47% from the field and close to 40 from 3, maybe 38 from 3, and 86% from the free throw line, something like that. That's like a Chris Middleton stat line. If Chris Middleton's putting up that, he's going to get the All-Star nod because he's proven that he's a clutch player, that he plays winning basketball, that he plays defense, you know. So Chris Middleton's going to get that nod, and rightfully so. I'm not mad at it.
Season, he's given the Bucks 20 a night, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 44% shooting, 38%.
26 and 5. See, what did I say? I said 19, 5, and 3. So 26 and 5 is an even better stat line than I had him at. So Chris Middleton, well deserved.
From deep, the Bucks at 32 and 21, the reigning champions, are number 4 in the Eastern Conference. So Chris Middleton joined.
Also, on a side note, I tweeted about this earlier today. The Milwaukee Bucks have graduated from the regular season. And what I mean by graduate from the regular season is that they don't really care about each game, the ins and outs of each game. They're just going through the motions. And yeah, you don't want to go through the motions in a way that's detrimental to the team, but they're going through the motions in the way that you see a lot of championship teams do, where the number one priority is health. So they're okay with resting a guy. You always see Giannis on the injury report. You always see guys, their stars as game time decisions. They're not letting the league see them with all three parts of the big three playing together, you know? They're giving Holiday a rest here, Middleton a rest here. It's like they almost want to hide their card and not show you how dominant they are when they have all three guys out there. They almost want to fly under the radar or go without being noticed. But this Milwaukee team is still real. They're still the team you got to go through in the East. And, you know, I'm recording this on Sunday, February 6th, and they just crushed the Clippers. Now, I know the Clippers are shorthanded, but they did make the trade for Covington, Norman Powell. They got some players over there, and they went into LA and crushed them. And that's what the Bucks can do any given night when they want to. But they've graduated from the regular season, and they're coasting through with the priority being to stay in rhythm and to be healthy come playoff time. And as long as the Bucks are ready come playoff time, that's all that matters.
Winning Zach LaVine, James Harden, Darius Garland.
If you brothers remember the Bucks the past few seasons, they've been competing for the 1 seed. It's like every year they have a crazy record. That was the knock on Coach Bud. He would have a crazy record in the regular season, and then come playoff time they would lose, or he wouldn't make adjustments or whatever the case is. He finally made adjustments, I felt like, a little bit in Brooklyn against the Nets last year in the playoffs. Some weren't even adjustments he made. It's just things the players did on the fly in game. And then I felt like he made some adjustments against the Hawks after the Hawks routed them in Game 1 when Trae Young had that amazing performance. After that, I felt like he made some adjustments in that series too. So, credit to Coach Bud, credit to the Milwaukee Bucks. They've graduated from the regular season. I'm not going to pound them like other people are just because they're the 4th seed. I don't care that they're the 4th seed. As long as they're healthy come playoff time, it was worth it.
Garland and Jimmy Butler. We have 2 envelopes left.
Sure you don't want one?
Yeah, I'm going to take the last one.
Okay.
Kenny, nobody cares, bro. Just read it.
Oof. And now, from the Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum.
Yes, sir. For Jayson Tatum, his 3rd All-Stars.
Bucket getter. Do it all player. He can do everything on the basketball court. He's phenomenal.
Selection, his 3rd straight in his 5th season.
His problem, and he needs to watch some KD tape, his problem is shot selection. KD shoots 50% from the field year in and year out because KD takes the right shots. It feels like Jayson Tatum just forces it. And then you got guys like Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, guys on that team who clearly must be frustrated because, if you swing the ball around, we could get a better look because we have threats on the offensive end. There's somebody who can blow by their man or somebody who can cut because there's so much attention on you. Whatever the case is, but sometimes Jayson Tatum gets locked in being a ball stopper and plays a little too much ISO ball. He gets caught up in the heroics. But, Jayson Tatum has the game. He has it all. One of my favorite young players.
26 points a night is number 11 in the league. Also 8 rebounds and 4 assists. 16 games of at least 30 points. The Celtics playing better lately. They're up to 28 and 25, which is number 9 in the East. So
This is going to be interesting. Huh?
Who do you think, Chuck? There are a lot of
This is
guys
going to be
here.
interesting.
What's one left?
One left.
One left.
Uno más.
I'm going to go.
Why don't we just announce it?
No, yeah. Let him announce it.
Let's just announce it.
Go ahead,
Let him
brother.
announce it.
All right. Your last
Miles
reserve
Bridges.
from the Eastern Conference. From the Toronto Raptors, Fred Van Vliet.
Oh, congrats.
Well
Fred.
deserved.
Fred
Well
Van
deserved.
Vliet.
Yes, sir. Well deserved.
And that's his first All-Star game in his 6th.
I love Fred Van Vliet, but I think this might have been a reach. I think this is the pick. This was the reach right here. And I think you could tell by the crew's reaction that they're happy for him, but that they know that this one was the reach. I don't think any of them, they'll reveal who they had, but I don't think any of them had Fred Van Vliet being the last guy in.
Season. 21 points a night, 5 rebounds, 7 assists.
Wow, that's some big numbers.
He's 12th in assists. He's 22nd in scoring, 8 games of at least 30 plus. He's had a triple-double. The Raptors are 26 and 23. And so there are your reserves in the Eastern Conference.
To Fred Van Vliet's credit, he gets after it on the defensive end. He has an array of moves that he can hit the defender with to free himself up on the offensive end. He has a smooth stroke. He can hit the jumper from inside, the mid-range. He can hit the 3. He can do a lot on the court. He has a very good crossover. But I don't know. He's playing it feels like he plays 40 minutes a night every single night. He has to be up there as one of the league leaders, if not the league leader in minutes played this season. It's easy to get, I'm not going to say it's easy to get 20 points, but it's easier to get 20 points when you're playing the whole damn game, It's easier to get those points when your team relies on you to have the ball in your hands the entire time, So I don't know. That's a tough one because they could have went with LaMelo Ball. They could have went with Bridges. I'm trying to think of some other guys. There's some guys that they could have went with, But Fred Van Vliet, he's a very good player. His shooting percentage is a little too low. He's been kind of shot jacking. But interesting. That was interesting. That's the one that I think people can debate a little bit. But I love Fred Van Vliet. He has a very good game.
Butler, Garland, Harden.
He has championship pedigree. He's another guy who plays winning basketball. If this was a guy who didn't play like a winning brand of basketball, I would be more upset. But he plays a winning brand of basketball. He's a confident player. He hits big shots. So it's tough to get mad at it, and you're happy for him. It's his first time. But, NBA, LaMelo Ball's going to be one of the future stars of the league, So it's hard to pass that up. I felt like Bridges had a great season too. Hard to pass that up. There's some guys in the East that I'm trying to think of. I'm sure we're short on some guys.
LaVine, Middleton, Tatum, and Fred Van Fleet.
And they're small.
There were.
But anyway, that's it for the Eastern Conference All-Star reserves. I thought LaMelo maybe could have got that last spot. I thought Bridges maybe could have got that last spot. But those guys are young. They're going to have another opportunity to get in there soon. We know that Kevin Durant is out for the foreseeable future. We also know Draymond Green is out. Knock on wood, but other guys could get injured as well. So we'll see if there's going to be how many more players are going to be added to the All-Star team. We'll see who Adam Silver picks. I believe he gets to pick who gets to be in the game as a replacement. So we'll see where he goes. My guess is that he would maybe go with the young stars, Anthony Edwards to replace Draymond in the West and LaMelo to replace KD in the East, because those are guys who are eventually going to get in there. But, thanks for watching the videos. Peace.